A lot of my clients, when they come to me and we work on their brand message and story, the first thing that they want to do then is come back to LinkedIn and update their LinkedIn profile. And very often, what I see happen is that they make this same mistake or had been making it before they came to me, which is that they treat their LinkedIn profile very much like a CV, or else it's super, super, super salesy. And what can happen is instead of being coming like a client magnet, it's actually a big client repellent. So this is what I'm going to talk about in today's LinkedIn Live. These some of the exact changes that you need to make your profile a LinkedIn lead generating machine. And there's a new feature alert I'm going to share with you as well that you might not yet have seen or be aware of for your profile. Okay, so the first thing first is your profile header. First impressions really matter. So the image that you have in your header, the picture of you, that needs to be something that's at least, you know, no no older than the last 24 months. And ideally it's a picture of you that you've taken in the last year. It needs to be not something of you that looks like it was taken in the 1960s. It needs to be recent and current. And what you want to happen is that when a client hops onto a discovery call or whatever with you in your coaching, consulting, or service providing business, that you look like your profile picture, especially if you don't do LinkedIn lives or if you don't do video or you don't share selfies. This is all the more reason why your picture needs to look like you. Okay, so after that, you have your picture right. One of the next things to look at is your profile header. And your headline is your hook. And a lot of people, what they do is they list their job title, but that's a mistake. What's more important to list is the transformation that you create. For example, on my own, it's strategically building uncopyable brands on LinkedIn that scale profitably. And then I call out who it's for. So for coaches, consultants, and service providers. So for you, you could use that as similar framework or formula. And another way to do it is I help whoever your ideal clients are achieve whatever result through whatever your expertise is. So that's a handy way to do it. What I see happening with people very often is they might write, let's say for an example, you're an accountant. You might write accountant. Okay, accountant. Great. How do you help me? Why should I choose you over somebody else? What makes you different or unique? There's no reason. So you need to give people a reason to actually choose you. And if your content or if you've just literally listed your job title, that doesn't enter people into a story with you. And people are interested in the story, but not your story. They're interested in their story. So I'll come back to that in a second. But basically, what you want to have then as well is something on your banner. And ideally on your banner, you want to have a tagline. And that tagline can be a little bit more of a deep dive into what you do. It can be more related to something that like you might have on your website, as in your headline. On mine needs to be updated now. I'm literally going through a rebrand and I will be updating it because I'm changing all my colors and stuff. You heard it here first. But essentially, mine says right now, helping service providers master your message and attract high-end clients. So it's not bad, and yes, that's still what I do, but it needs to be a little bit better than that. And mine hasn't been updated now in over 2 years. Well, almost 2 years, I'd say. So it's definitely due an upgrade, and I can do better than that now. So there you go. It's about constantly reviewing it, keeping your profile picture up to date, looking at what your headline says, and then a tagline that you can add to your banner. So what a lot of people do is they waste the space on their banner. They might have a logo, they might have too many words on there. And it's funny when you look at the banner on your phone versus on the desktop, it's very different. So you need to be mindful of where you position things on the banner. So for example, on the left-hand side, your image will appear when you look at it on a desktop view, and on a mobile view, it's slightly different. It is in the, is it in the middle? I'm like, I have LinkedIn banned on my mobile, so I can't be on it during the day. But yeah, I think it's pretty much in the middle. So your image can overlap. Actually, it's a little bit to the left. Your image can overlap the text. So you need to be careful where you position the text, is the point. Okay, so one of the other things that the tagline should do is, and with that bio section on LinkedIn, is you only have a few characters to create something that every time you post or you comment, or even when you message somebody, when they scroll and they look at your profile, there's a limited number of characters, so that the first bit is what's really important. So if you are an accountant, you might want to say, putting more money in your pocket, putting more money in solopreneurs' pockets, if that's who you work with, that sort of thing. Or it could be keeping money in solopreneurs' bank accounts instead of paying the tax man, something like that. And it's not that you're avoiding tax, it's that you are paying tax in the right way with smartly, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, I've been away for a couple of weeks now, so my brain is just getting back into things. So pardon me if I'm a bit like, oh, I've been in Rome and Paris, and I'm tired. But anyway, new LinkedIn feature alert. It's, I think, important to mention here. So I actually just took a screenshot. You probably can't see it on my phone. But basically, when you click on your banner, the little pencil or pen beside the banner image in your profile, when you click on there, what you'll see is an option to change the photo. When you click change photo, it says take a photo, use single photo, or create slideshow. So if you click on create slideshow, you can actually have a few images going through, so that it's not the same one all of the time. And with these things, the algorithm tends to like it when you do and apply the new features that the platform has created. So I would suggest to have a look at that and see if it's something that you can create right now. Okay, so the about section is next. Now, very often, again, when people come to me, when clients come to me and they send me their LinkedIn, or I'm doing a LinkedIn audit with people. I've done nearly 60 LinkedIn audits at this stage. And what I see is that very often the number one mistake is that people write their LinkedIn about section like it's an autobiography. Sometimes it's written in the third person, but it's not written by your fan club, it is written by you. So if you have a personal brand, and most of the people who I'm connected with on here, you're a coach, you're a consultant, or you provide service. And usually it's your personal brand that you are growing and building and connecting with your ideal clients with on LinkedIn. And so if that's the case, you need to write that in the first person. So imagine my profile was, and Deirdre does this and Deirdre does that, but it's my personal profile. So it should be, I've done this and I've done that, as opposed to the other way around. So the other thing is, if you write something like it's an autobiography, it's literally all about you. But remember what I said? People don't care about your story. What they care about is their story. So you've got to show up and create content for your about section that's actually straight into talking about your clients' pain points and the results or transformation that you can help them deliver. So a great way to do that is maybe to start with an attention grabbing statement or a question. So it could be struggling to attract the right clients on LinkedIn. You're not alone, something like that. And then describe how you solve that pain point. You can drop in some credibility signals throughout. So things like awards or partnerships or big wins that you've had. Like, again, mine could do with an update, because I could put something in there around mine about how one of my clients has said, I've been millionized by Deirdre, I can put in something like that there. I could put in other things that I've done, things I've featured on, or, you can't put in logos on here, but just think about what you might have on your website, for example, in terms of credibility. And then finally, one thing that so many people miss out on their about section is a call to action. So it could be DM me the word growth if you want to attract high quality leads on LinkedIn. It could be book a call from the link in my profile or email me at this email address. Now, the links that you put into your about section, they're not clickable. So I would avoid putting a link in there, but rather tell people where to go. And the likelihood is anyway, they won't go there from your about section. So maybe DM is probably one of the better ways to go. And then I'm saying this for coaches, consultants, and service providers. This is my experience and what I've seen from clients and the different types of calls to action that they have. So how a lot of people have come to me is that their about section is written like an autobiography, but actually, I'm not saying don't include that. What I'm saying is the stuff that you might write in your autobiography, all of the jobs that you've had in your past life, all of the experience that you have, you showcase that in the experience section, but only showcase things related to what you're doing right now and why that matters. So, what you want to share is the impact that you've had and not necessarily just the responsibilities. So, expand on roles that had measurable results and not just job duties. You can use bullet points to highlight any growth statistics, client success stories, or even awards and recognitions. So, for example, instead of saying something like, I managed marketing campaigns, you could say, I generated 603,000 in revenue through targeted digital marketing campaign, right? So you can call it out more specifically because it's more about a transformation and the result. So another thing is that your services. So what I suggest, if you have a personal brand, but you also have a company brand, there's a couple of things that you can do here. LinkedIn now has a feature which is called services, and you can add what your services are within that specific section. So list the few core services in a way that makes sense to your audience, in a way that maybe if they went onto Google, they might actually search for it in that specific way. And what that will help do is it'll make your profile searchable on Google as well. That can help us with ChatGPT search and other types of search engines like that. So it's useful to just think about it in that way. When somebody looks for the service that you provide, what words would they type into Google to find it? So ideally, each service should be outcome driven. So for example, when people work with me, it's about finding, winning, and keeping clients. And how we do that is brand strategy, marketing strategy, customer experience strategy. And all of that combined is my BMC method. Like nobody's going to go onto Google and search for Deirdre Martin's BMC method. Well, maybe they will after after watching this live, but generally they won't. So what people are going to look for is, how do I find clients on LinkedIn? How can I win more clients? How can I keep the clients that I have? That sort of thing. And by using that type of language, that's what's going to help more people find me. And let me just pause here and say that this has happened to me multiple times in 2024. So people have found me and hired me to help them with their LinkedIn and their brand message and story. And we haven't been connected on the platform and they haven't been referred to me. And how they found me was through the content that I've created on LinkedIn. They searched on Google and I appeared in the search and they reached out and they became clients. So this stuff is not like pie in the sky shit. This is fact. This will work. So do the thing. Do the thing. And one thing I will say here is avoid jargon, right? Sometimes we feel like we have to say things in a certain way because but actually what we're trying to do is sometimes we're trying to be clever instead of be clear. So, I could say, my BMC method, but really, what does that mean? It's finding, winning, and keeping customers. That's it. It's as simple as that. So let's see. What was I going to say to you there? Okay, let's just wrap this up a little bit. And what I want to share with you actually is I am going to be doing another LinkedIn visibility challenge. And one of the things that cropped up from the last visibility challenge was a lot of people had realized a couple of things. There was some few big realizations, but there were also some really big results. So one lady, Jenny, she had over 200% of an increase in her LinkedIn impressions and reach. Things really increased for her just by following some of the things that we covered in the LinkedIn Visibility Challenge. Other people realized that they'd been holding themselves back and that they weren't achieving the success, not because of the algorithm or anything else. And if you caught last week's LinkedIn Live, you might have got a sneak hint at what's about to come in terms of the next LinkedIn Visibility Challenge. But anyway, I won't divulge too much, but let me just say it was absolutely epic, and the people who came last time got incredible results. So it is on in not next week, but the week after. So it's going to start on March 10th, and it will run every single day from 3 p.m. Irish time, so 2 hours after this LinkedIn Live, and it will run for 1 hour per day for 5 days. And really, it is about showing up on LinkedIn. It's about showing up in an authentic way to help you find, win, and keep more of your ideal clients. So it's all planned out very intentionally to help you do that. So be sure to check that out. And actually, don't go and check it out. Here's what I want you to do. Message me the word challenge on LinkedIn and I'll send you the link so that you can go and check it out. And it will be epic. I promise you that. Everybody who showed up last time and showed up for the 5 days got so much value from it. And it was mindset shifts as much as learning how to create specific content and do certain things on LinkedIn to help find, win, and keep clients. So it was pretty cool. Okay. So just to wrap up quickly on today's topic of what we're talking about to do with your LinkedIn profile. First and foremost, your headline, your hook, and your tagline are really important for your banner section on your LinkedIn, for the little bit of your profile section, the tagline piece. What am I trying to say? What's it called? What did they literally called it in there? Your headline. Yeah, your headline section. So it's your headline, but it's your banner, and then it's the first line of your about section. That's so important. That's all your hook. And when that first line of your about section leans into the client's pain points and a result that you can help them achieve, that's a really great way and to invite somebody into a story to work with you potentially. With your experience, make sure that you refer to the impact and not just the job duties that you've had. And in terms of services, really focus on the outcomes that clients can expect, because clarity is what will win clients. So use that clear language, the stuff that they'll type into Google to find you. And finally, your call to action. Always include a call to action. And mine is message me the word challenge and I will send you the details of the next LinkedIn Visibility Challenge. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching today. Have a wonderful weekend and I'll see you next Friday, 1 p.m. live again, if not before. Thanks again. Bye.